myself, what a wonderful.
Hello, hello.
Welcome to. That was like the worst. Actually, that's pretty funny.
We have to
Anyways, welcome to
another
DJ Talk.
episode of DJ Talk.
We totally have really bad technical difficulties today.
Yeah, we're clearly not in the right state of mind right now.
I don't know if it's the documentary or what.
But anyways, welcome to another episode of DJ
DJ
Talk.
I have my phone for the sound effect.
Oh, it's over here.
Whatever, it's too late. We have a special guest today, and he's our number one
Fan.
You guys hear me talk about him sometimes. His name is Mark.
He's listened to every single episode.
Since day one. Hey.
And here we are. Here's Mark.
Yay.
What's up, everybody? It's an honor. Yeah, I just got it. You have no idea the behind the scenes stuff like
Jesus.
this that we just.
Oh my god.
Behind the scenes here is out of control. It's awesome.
He definitely got the witness to see all that.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Terrible,
I was like,
terrible. Technology, whatever.
Do you think like for us it's like an easy just go right into it?
Yeah, I thought y'all had a lockdown. I was like, it's curious. I'm like, yo, I didn't know that y'all did all this. Like you know, I thought it was just like a smooth.
Like just press record.
Yeah, just press record.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's a lot of work that goes into this.
So we didn't realize that until we started
Started it, right?
Yeah,
And then you're like,
the process.
Oh, that was the wrong one.
Eardrum.
Sorry. Anyways, today's just one of those
Off days, I guess.
technical. Yeah. Starting off with. I don't know what I was gonna say.
Anyways, we're gonna be talking about the documentary of Natalie, the Curious Case of Natalie Grace.
Yes. And just a head closure. Anything we say, don't cancel us because we're just sharing our own opinions. I'm just saying, like, don't come after us because we're just going off what we saw and our opinions on it. We could be right, we could be wrong. Don't matter, but just don't cancel it.
And the show is on Discovery Plus if you guys want to see it.
You guys have to see it
Yes.
because that's the only thing.
But
So welcome, Mark.
Thank you.
It only took 33 episodes before you came
I
on.
know, it took forever to ask me. I felt like shunned. And then I
Oh.
was like, damn, I knew Dan ain't really like me.
I asked you and you were like, no.
Yeah,
And then
it's-
I finally got you to, when I asked you last week, I was like, he's probably like, nah, you know, when you said, yeah, hell yeah, I was like, oh, okay, we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
it's very nerve-wracking though.
No, it's very nervous. Like you gotta, you hear your guest, you gotta follow that. It's hard to follow up.
Aww.
You have a guy like Brett, you could hear him read an obituary, and you'd be like, wow, that's interesting. Like, who died today? Wow, I'm like, But yeah, man, it's good to
You'll
be
be fine,
here.
though.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Number one fan. Thank you for being our number one.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
You know, I support. I always support friends. You know what I'm
I
saying?
love how, like, when I go to work, he'll be like, hey, what happened to the podcast last night? Where's the podcast? I was like, I'm sorry.
Yo, that's 10 hours a day in the car. I gotta listen to something. You gotta spit them out.
Yeah.
Didn't your Spotify tell you, like, we're one of your top shows?
Top 5, yeah. You made top 5, yeah.
High five.
High five.
Yeah, top 5.
That's pretty good.
But yeah, so we're going to be talking about that case of the little girl named Natalie Grace, but she's a dwarf, or she has some sort of dwarfism. I don't know what
I'm
it's
sure a
called.
lot of people have heard of it because it's like all over TikTok and.
But she came from like Ukraine, and then like somebody adopted her, and they thought that she was actually an adult rather than like a child that they said.
They tried to compare it to the movie The Orphan, the closest thing.
Yeah.
But when you watch it, it's like,
It blows your mind.
yeah.
At first, if you didn't watch the documentary, I thought it was like The Orphan because like they're claiming or saying that it's like the movie, and like they're saying that she does want to kill like the family and all that, and I'm like, dang, like for real. But you start watching it, it's like definitely not.
Yeah, when you get the other perspective on the other side, it's like is that real?
Yeah.
Where do we begin? That's the thing.
It would start with the obvious, man, Mr. Weirdo.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Michael Barnett, like that dude. Like when I first started, like when I watched him and I seen him come on, I was like, "There's something off. Like he's weird. Like no man should sound like that."
Aren't they?
Like no man should sound like this guy.
Aren't they like the second and third family to adopt her?
Yeah. But
Yeah. I think
the orphanage was like pushing the families to adopt her so fast.
Yeah.
That's why the other two were like, why are they pushing this so fast? Like, why are they...
one family, they wouldn't allow her. Remember the one family?
The one lady. It was a lady, right? She
yeah,
also
the
was a
teacher.
dwarf.
She said
The teacher.
Yeah, she said, we can't let you adopt her.
Because of her disability, was it?
I don't know, because another family that had dwarfism adopted her. Remember the first family?
Right, yes.
And
No, they were going to, I think, but they didn't go through with it.
No, I think they had her for like a few weeks and then...
Yeah, and they returned to her, I think.
Oh, maybe I think of the third family.
I think they returned her.
The third family, I think, was also a dwarf family, and they were about to, and then they backed down,
right?
Because they thought something was off.
Well, because they ended up being in the middle of the woods with the rocky area, driveway,
and
then
they didn't let her adopt her with her. She can't walk.
Yeah.
And then Natalie was like looking at the adoption agency, seeing if she was saying the right things, and then that's why they were like, all right, this is like it feels off to me.
Because you're also not only adopting a kid, but a kid who has a disability, already with dwarfism.
Yeah.
And then you already have that limp, whatever procedure that they said she was going to need surgery for her legs. Because that was one of the first things that they told them, like she's going to need surgery.
With their cases, they get leg surgery where they try to straighten out their bones in a way so they can try to be able to walk straighter in a sense. But that costs
hundreds of thousands.
I think like just one leg is like over 100,000 or something like that. So
even the adoption agency said that the family's responsible, whoever adopts her is responsible for
for the
medical,
surgeries,
and all that stuff.
And I felt like
I think that's why the one family couldn't do it either, because they said we don't have the money to do it or something like that.
Yeah, it was
and
like $20,000 to adopt some kid from Ukraine.
Right.
That's what it was, I think, too.
Yeah, you're paying for that and
Plus
like through surgery. Yeah. And plus, I think they felt like the Barnetts, who adopted her eventually, they were running a daycare for disability kids
out
of the garage. So they felt like it was a perfect fit for her to be adopted by somebody.
Mm-hmm. But the dad, though.
But the dad.
Like,
But the dad.
Okay, let's start with Michael. This guy.
I don't know. I think he lied. We were trying to tell you before about what he lied about this scenario when they were at the farm when he was when he heard her screaming from 40 feet away. Then he started running back, and then apparently the mom was like freaking out and saying that Natalie was trying to drag her to the fence. But then a few years later, he said that, oh no, we were all the way into the farm, so I wasn't there. And he got caught in a lie.
Yeah, caught in a lie. In my opinion, he got caught in multiple lies. I felt like everything he said was a lie. Everything. Like, I questioned everything he said. Like, even for an example, like, he said that, there was one incident where they put the kid outside, the little girl. And I was like, and then so they called the people who come in to see kids, whatever that service is called. Right. And the police officer came today too. And he said the police officer was like, yeah, she's an adult. However, she they was like, oh yeah, the cop said we got to put her in I think that's when they put her in the psych ward. Yeah. But then when they go to ask the cop is dead. And then you can't get an answer. Right, yeah. And then not only that, but they have one email from the cop, and the cop said that she had baby teeth, so our assumption is she is a child.
Yeah, but don't kids start losing their teeth at 7 or 8 or 9 years old or something like that?
Around there, but she still had some.
Right.
So that means
if they're claiming that she's an adult, she still has baby teeth.
And plus, he told her and then he's saying that the cop said all that it was an adult, but the cop obviously said in an email, nah, that's bullshit.
And the whole thing of because look, right there, she looks like a little kid.
Yeah, that's a little kid,
And that's when she got adopted. So how are you going to tell me that? Remember when they brought her home that day and they gave her a bath or something? She saw pubic hair or something like that. I'm like, she's what, 6 there? Maybe 7?
And the
She
other,
got adopted or something like that.
and then the other thing too, like they try to compare her to like she had a playmate. Remember that
Oh,
other
yeah.
girl?
I'll compare, yeah.
You know, they compare and then they put the pictures side by side.
Yeah.
And obviously Natalia is like way bigger than her.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So but how is this kid 6 and this kid 6 and one's humongous and one's not?
But the thing is, Mackenzie, she's 3, but she
looks like she's
a lot
almost
taller than another.
That's
it
what I
could be
was
another
saying
taller
too.
than
Like
another
that.
3-year-old.
Don't cancel no way. It's not meant to be racist, but you could tell that girl from somewhere like South America or
Well, I think
Central America.
it was
and
a Spanish family.
right? Like I'm gonna say like maybe like
Right.
Ecuador.
I think so.
You can't compare somebody from Ukraine. They grow like giants. You know, like those people there were huge.
real.
So she
Yeah.
probably just looked older just because she was bigger.
I mean, look at our family. Our background is Ukrainian. My grandparents on my dad's side, they're both tall as hell. My uncle's tall, my brother's tall, my dad's tall, and it's all from the Ukrainian side.
Right.
So you can't really compare to, 2 kids.
Yeah,
It's not
two
the
kids
same.
can't be the same. Yeah.
Genetics are different, like
Right.
way different. So it's like that's one thing. But then like what else happened?
Didn't he lie? Something that he said in 2019, and then what was it? Do you remember? He said something in 2019, and then when they recorded this in 2022, he said something completely the opposite.
Well, that's what she just
I
said.
think that's the song.
Yeah, that's what she just said.
Yeah, look,
Yeah.
you see right there. Like that's what they're comparing.
Yeah. Now she does look like a woman right there. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
but you can't compare. It's like
No, you can't.
It's like everybody's different.
I don't know, but I feel like the dad.
But the whole thing with her standing on the side of the bed, like, or hiding their knives and stuff, when it goes way forward in the series, when they're like, when she was being abused, and she was probably just doing that for protection.
Self-defense.
Yeah, self-defense.
Because
Because
I think, somebody that small, you really can't defend yourself.
especially if you're going through the abuse, like he
Standing
said,
on the wall
right?
for
Like
12,
standing on the
24
wall. So
hours.
in one scene where he's like, "Oh, my wife Christine put her on the wall. I went to work, put her on the wall because she didn't want to eat or something of that
No,
nature."
no, she didn't want to tell her where she came from.
Where she came
or
from.
Who she stayed
Yeah.
with.
Who she
stayed with.
And
all that stuff.
And put her on the wall for like 12 hours, and you came home from work and she peed on herself.
And then she was like, "Don't you dare, like, you need to be
Intervene.
on my side."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and I feel like he was scared of her.
Oh, he was definitely scared of
Like,
her.
Why though? I would be like,
You could tell who runs that house.
yeah,
Like,
that's crazy.
yeah.
What do you have there?
Oh, you was.
Bro, you got like a lid.
Yeah, listen, man. There was a lot of shit that went on
Yeah.
here.
Oh,
No, you can.
Oh, you
That's
got.
fine.
Sorry, I thought I tried to censor myself, but that didn't work out.
It's an explicit podcast.
But all right, so what do you guys think about those orphanage stories about the people that work there?
There's something off about that.
Right? I feel the
Yeah,
same way.
But why were forcing the families to adopt her so fast? Like that's what I'm saying. Like,
No, I'm sorry. I put the orphanage. Actually, I'm sorry. The mental hospital.
Yo.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
With
Because I think
was
it
saying
goes-
that she was trying to like have sex with them. or
Yeah,
something
like
that,
she-
yeah.
I think it's the whole thing of like not knowing her real age. That's why, like with her, I don't think she really knew her own age because
Everybody's
her
telling her
adopted
different
parents
things.
said that the Ukrainian thing, what's it called? Not the passport. The birth certificate wasn't real, but it was real. But they just thought it was not, so they gave her back when she was born in 2003. They gave her 1979. That's like around her age.
yeah.
So right now she's what, in her 20s. So they gave her like 20 extra years on her life. So I think probably with the institute they probably did the same thing. They got the wrong info and
Yeah.
they put her on the adult side when she shouldn't have been. But I feel like something is off there too. I feel like their comments, like
That's the
you're
thing.
there
Like,
to help somebody. If she really has a really bad mental problem, you're there to help them somehow. So why would you kick her out? So there's something that someone's not saying.
Plus
And
the people
half
that
of them didn't even want their name mentioned.
right. That's what
It's
I was just gonna say that because it's like, yo, how you gonna say all that stuff, but you're not gonna say your name?
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna come on record and say, oh, I'm saying this. Like, I almost feel like it was like a lie.
A setup.
Do you
Yeah,
think
like I
they
said.
have something to do with it? The parents?
I think so,
Apparently.
100%.
They had money.
If you
Yeah.
say something, then
'Cause
we'll
when you
come
hear
after you or something.
When you hear him talk, he was like, that's where she belonged. Like, he wanted her there. So I felt like those people.
And it was
I don't know.
crazy about like them getting her an apartment when she was a child.
Yes,
And then,
that
like,
was.
Yeah, but
nuts.
in their eyes, she was 17, 18.
Yeah,
but
but
in reality, if you when the mom finally gave the DNA test, and she said no, she was born in 2003, that she had the apartment at 9 years old.
Yeah. And then, like,
who
her...
can live like that?
Yeah, that's
At
crazy.
9. And then, like, they're just bringing her food, like, every 2 weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
And she had no, whatever, the phone, that she couldn't even use the phone. Like, she couldn't go out really much anywhere. And then when, like, her neighbors, she was getting very attached to her neighbors because she's being so isolated by
Right, by
their
her
parents
family.
and
And then it's still like a little kid that had no guidance. That's why she was probably so annoying to them.
That's
you
another
know?
thing, too. Yeah. Like, she just
but
needs
you know
somebody.
what, though, to show up at somebody's house, though, like, unannounced.
I know.
So,
But
Yeah.
she doesn't know that. She doesn't know any difference with that because she was never taught that. All she was taught was just being trapped inside the house or being
yeah.
abused.
Now, I wonder, like, you know how they say, like, she was admitting that she wanted to kill her family and stuff. Like, does that come down to her self-defending herself?
Probably.
Or is it that she really mentally wants to kill them?
And
You know
that,
what I mean?
her son, I wanted to smack him too.
Jacob.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Jacob is autistic. And the thing is that his mom, because remember he said that his dad was at work when things would happen?
Yeah.
How she would force him to pee on her
her
old
bed,
yeah.
and do stuff, and he's like, I really didn't want to, but at the same time I was mad at her. But like, you know, but he said, like, my mom told me to do these things.
And he felt bad for it. Like, he really felt bad for it.
So, like, this, I could tell, like, this kid struggled a lot doing the interview, because he walked out, I don't know how many times. And remember when he thought he wasn't being recorded, he's like, I don't want to
And
do
he got
this
caught.
anymore.
Yeah.
He's like, I just feel like I don't want to say anything else anymore. And they caught him in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, but the dad, I think there's something wrong with the dad.
So the dad did something.
He
for
definitely,
sure.
yeah. He's not innocent.
he knows
the way he's
something.
trying. I could tell that his whole thing is an act. Like his whole persona, like
Yeah.
the way he's talking. Like it's almost like an act. It's like, you know, even when he brought up one point where Christine, the stepmother, was beating her on the floor.
He was being, like, over dramatic.
He was being over dramatic,
I was
right?
gonna
Like
say,
yeah.
because
he said,
I'm
"Put the
like,
camera
if
right
he-
here this high,"
if
and then
he-
I was like, "Who does that?" Like,
if she really beat the crap out of her the way he showed it, she would either be dead because she's so tiny and her bones are so, like, together. She wouldn't be alive, I think, at this point, or she would have some kind of disfigurement. You know what I mean? Because broken bones, broken face. So I think he exaggerated that part. Did she get a beating? Probably, but I don't think to the extent of how he
Yeah.
showed it.
yeah,
So
Because that's, like, an emergency, like, probably spleen surgery or something, like.
yeah.
there's
organ
no way that
surgery
you
or
get
something.
beat up like that in general, being our size, and not bleed internally somewhere. You know, the way he did it.
And you know what's nuts, dude? Like you brought up, you know how they caught him on the mic, but like I said, I didn't really hear that conversation too good. But it sounded like the son. I forget the son's name. But
Jacob?
Jacob. It sounded like Jacob kicked her down the stairs, like a flight of stairs.
Yeah, but who knows if the mom made him do that? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that's the thing. Or if he did it, I know he feels bad about everything he did permanently. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just, who knows if his mom just made him, because his mom was a psycho, dude. I think, what's her name?
Michael
Kristen?
and
No.
Kirsten, yeah.
Not Kristen. What's her name? Christina.
Christine.
Like, she's just like, see, like, if you look at her there, right, doing the case or whatever,
Oh, like the pre-interview?
like, you can
See,
tell.
there she looks like an adult, though.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if you got beat up the way he claims that she beat her up, I think there would be more of a disfigurement. You know what I mean? Like, there'd be something else that's wrong.
It
But
could
she
be.
looks okay in a sense, but
But who really
this
knows?
lady, this lawyer, no, she's not a lawyer. What is she? She's she's a lawyer, right?
She's a little, yeah.
I think she's like a
like-
prosecutor, right? Or
She wants
something
to
of
go
that nature.
after him so bad.
Oh, yeah,
After
she-
both of them, because
Yeah.
she doesn't believe anything that they say. And
But look,
so,
she looks like a teenager right there.
Yeah, now she looks old. Like
Yeah,
you could
now
tell.
she
Like
looks older,
now
like
she's
an
like.
adult.
So how are you gonna compare the little girl to that when they're saying when she was little, she's 16 there, So what do you like right there? She's not 16 there, 17 there.
See, that looks like a kid.
Yeah.
See, when you got her in the picture in a white t-shirt, jeans, like she looks like a little kid. This is when she was living in that apartment, I guess, right? Like
I think so.
the first apartment.
Yeah. With the that's her name she got attached to. Sue.
Yeah.
Like this whole thing is just freaking crazy.
It freaking.
What
As
about
I'm watching it, I'm like, now it's like I'm so confused on who to actually believe.
I was like so like I don't even know. I was just so like thrown back and forth. Like I felt like I was the monkey in the middle, and then like I was just being thrown one side to another.
Yeah.
With this case, because I just don't know. Like it's just I don't know who to believe. Like I really don't.
I lean toward. In the beginning, I was just like, I found Michael suspect from the beginning, so I wasn't really believing him. Like because he was just off to me, so I wasn't believing. But as I was like, all right, maybe there's some truth to it. But there was some things like he said, like for instance, like example, he was sleeping, right? They were both sleeping in bed. He said he heard a thump, like boom, right? Mm-hmm. Wake up! I got to inspect what's going on. The first thing he does, he doesn't go to her room. He says, I'm looking around to see what it is, right? And then he opens up the door, and she's just allegedly standing there. And he was like, well, what are you doing here? And he was like, I'm waiting for you to fall asleep.
Is it for what?
Yeah. So and you don't.
And she's like to kill you.
Like you don't do nothing there. Like
That's the thing. Like,
it doesn't make sense.
She has a knife in her hand, so it's like, okay, you're just gonna be like, okay, go back to your room. Like.
But then he was standing outside her door the whole night. He said he didn't have any sleep because he wanted to make sure that she wasn't walking around the house.
Right, because he was scared he had to take
but
this.
I don't know.
And there was another thing too, where she was actually in the room too, right? And they woke up and she was standing over them.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But is that true?
Like the way he reacts.
So
like,
this
it's
is
just like too dramatized.
So guys, just listen to how he is.
She's been standing still, nose on the wall, for 8 hours. And she ain't getting out of there until she writes down names. Michael, don't you say a word to her. Don't you help her. I have been dealing with this all day long. Don't you do anything except back up your wife. Do you understand me?
So my thing is, if the 3 prior families were able to give her back, right? Why didn't they do the same thing?
Because they wanted to help her.
If such a problem, why be like, you know what, I'm done, I don't want to deal with it, give
That's
it back.
true.
So,
You know what I'm going to call bullshit on too? So this guy just lied his ass off. So there was one part where he was like, they wanted to get in contact with the previous family, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they couldn't get in contact. Oh, we can't tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Then the girls from the adoption agency said, well, look, I can't tell you who they are. But if you look in the book bag.
Yeah.
Now, this is why I'm calling bullshit. You telling me the whole time you had this girl, you never unpacked her bag?
I would be checking their, like, if I adopt a kid,
I would be checking everything. Yeah. Like, I would be going through
okay, this is your stuff, so we get familiar.
Exactly. Like, you would take
That's
the whole bag out. Like, oh, it just happened to be sitting in there? Like, come on. Like, that's a lie,
Yeah. I don't know. The way that he cries, too, I think it's just too forcing.
Nah, let me tell you something.
Forceful.
I wonder if he has, like, some, maybe autism or something.
I think he's just...
I think he's just psychotic.
Yeah, I think he's just like a narcissist, psychotic narcissist. That's not...
He's a manipulator. That's it.
What else do you have?
I'll get into his best face, though. You know how you said, like, he's crying?
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you his best face, but hold on. I don't know if you want to go that far yet.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get to it.
We'll get to it. Yeah, he's got a great face, but...
Yeah.
So, here goes the other thing I think, too. I feel like she's still getting ripped off. I'm going to tell you why. So, now she has the second apartment, right? Mm-hmm. It's on the second floor.
Oh, yeah.
It's in Indiana. And so, they can't find her, right? Right? And so, she has, like, food stamps. And all of a sudden, this family brings her in. And I feel like that family's robbing her for freaking food stamps.
Oh my gosh, that's what I thought too.
Right?
Yes.
I think they still are. I think there's no way that family takes her in.
No, yeah.
Unless they're, robbing her. This girl gets $500 a month.
That was my
That's what
immediate
it was.
Right?
thinking, yeah.
I think that's what he said.
I think he was right about that.
I think he said they only took her in to steal her money, like help her, but take her money to take advantage
I believe
of her.
that.
Yeah.
I think that's the only true thing he said.
Yeah.
I really do believe that. Like,
But I wonder if she was still with that family.
I think she
she still is, because I saw when she goes to court, she's going to court with them.
With that girl.
Yeah.
That girl. So I think maybe they really just did take her in, and they probably did take advantage of her because now they have extra income coming in to help support the family. Fine.
But now they're very attached to her too.
But you know what? But it seemed like, okay, maybe at first it was like a what's it called? An advantage type case. Maybe they thought, oh, we'll take advantage and then they throw her out. But it seemed like, okay, maybe we can really help her.
I just don't buy it.
That's why she's still with them.
This is the way I see it. If she didn't have $500 a month in food stamps, they never would have took her in. They would have been like, they never would have took her in.
That's what I'm saying. They probably saw her like, oh, let me take advantage and then kick her out. Like, whatever, we got what we needed, that's it. But maybe having her there, they got attached to her. They started helping her, and now that's why she's still with them.
Or they got attached to that $500 a month and be like, that's like $6,000 a year.
Their money.
Their money,
You never hear anything. I mean, we don't know too.
I mean, you don't know. It's just like you said in the beginning. It's just an opinion that we don't hate on this. It's just our opinion,
We're trying to get out there.
Like right there, it reminds me of Mackenzie when she gets in trouble, like her face. And oh my god, like I'm scared type of thing. Like she's clearly I don't know. Like,
she's a kid there.
Yeah, she's definitely a kid there, and her mom's definitely manipulating her into thinking right there because she was supposed to get in trouble because he was like, it's not nice to pick on people, right? Mm-hmm. And then she's just looking at her like what the hell did I do?
Yeah.
So I that kid's expression just makes me think of Mackenzie when she gets in trouble or has to go on timeout type of thing. Oh, right there. This is the part when
he got
caught in the mic. Let me see.
See, that's the thing too. I think both his parents were manipulative because you know how he was telling him about I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about anything anymore. It seemed like maybe his dad forced him to say something because his dad was like, I wanted to get my side of the story out. But why drag your kid into it? If your kid doesn't want to talk about it, don't force him to talk about it. And it seems like Jacob was forced. Because there's a few times, remember, he was like, I don't want to talk about it. And he walked out. He's like, I'm done. Like, he was getting really uncomfortable. And I think that's what it was.
But then also, the producers obviously heard what he was talking about. So they were like, oh, now you have to talk about it. Like, you can't just not say that and walk away. Like this part.
Something really deeply wrong here. It doesn't smell right. There's something wrong. Oh, it smells like somebody's hiding something someplace.
So it says Jacob has just completed his sit-down interview. He doesn't realize that his microphone is still recording.
I think I feel bad for him in a way because I feel like he was really forced.
But he's definitely.
I told him about my last interaction with my mom, but I guess the moral thing that I've been struggling with is if there's some shred of hope that she can be redeemed, I don't think it's worth dragging her character down anymore.
Oh, I've done that. I'm done. You didn't hear my conversation with them yesterday. I told the full and complete truth. That's a nice way of saying I put 2 rounds in a shotgun and I fired. It's okay. I feel like I deserve the right to tell my story.
I don't know. I feel like
that. I didn't tell them about kicking the stairs.
Well, kicking down the stairs, we said we're not going to say, right?
Michael's the one who kicked her down the stairs.
Going into today was to
not Jacob.
tell them that. And furthermore, I
understand. Because he said, I didn't say about kicking her down the stairs.
I'm not really looking forward to being subpoenaed.
You can't be subpoenaed.
Oh, okay.
A child?
No, put my microphone on. I'm such an idiot.
Wow. All right. So it was Michael who kicked her down the stairs.
It looks like Michael's the one because he said, I didn't say anything about pushing her down the stairs. I thought Jacob said it, but it was him. When they did the trial...
And then there goes his crying.
Oh, yeah. Come on. Man, that's so fake.
Look. He's holding his knees like a little kid.
He's literally having his eyes wide open for his tears to come out.
I bet you, oh my god, the crocodile tears.
The crocodile tears.
So
so fake.
You can't be innocent in all this. There's no way.
You know a lot more stuff than you're saying. It's just definitely
Mark, what's your next topic?
What else happened during this thing that I found? I was just I'm old. I'll forget half this stuff. I want to write it down.
Me too. Mm-hmm.
So, let me see. All right, I guess you want to get... this was a pretty big one. Christine, I guess he's like a serial cheater, right? And she ends up banging another fellow dwarf. Like, and then like sexting other guys. But the craziest one is like this dwarf. Like that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like
That guy. I swear to God, I had to watch that scene at least 3 times because I was so distracted.
But she never had any interaction with him.
No, she did.
she did.
Oh, right, like the pictures though, but not like physical, right?
I thought it got physical.
Oh, did? Oh.
I thought that's what he
I
said.
forgot about
I
that.
could be wrong. If you want to skip to that
Yeah,
part,
I'm gonna skip to that part because I completely.
I could have sworn he said it became sexual. He said it went one way and went another.
Because I remember him saying, or she texting him that, oh, maybe you should hook up with Natalie. I remember she was trying to hook him and Natalie up, but I don't remember.
Do you remember at the end
That's
when Michael,
nuts.
he wanted to crack the laptop?
Yes.
Remember?
Yes.
And I think that's what happened. I think, or something along the lines.
Oh, this was like the.
But I seriously could not understand what he was saying because I was so distracted by the mess that my apartment now, to me, feels like it's a mess. And it's really not, but to me, it's a mess. So imagine in a house like that. I'd be going, like, all that.
This guy.
My anxiety is like through the roof. Like, I was paying attention to everything around him.
I actually didn't pay attention to that. I was just staring at him and listening to what he was saying.
And then I was just like, how can you
But
have
he
a,
said
like,
something about.
You know, I'm gonna say it definitely took my breath away. You don't have to feel bad. He said, even if you kissed her, I need to know, but you're not gonna get in trouble, I think is what he said. And I said, no, I've never been intimate with a little person. Ever.
Yeah, you see? So she was trying to get him to be
He
involved
wanted
with
to know
Natalie.
if I had ever dated.
But that, I don't think, okay, so
Right,
maybe
this
he
is
didn't
part.
have to.
Do you know Christine, they adopted a young woman, Natalia? I said, yeah, I think she mentioned something about that, and he wanted to know if I had ever dated Natalia, and I kind of was blown. I was like flabbergasted. Basically, someone asking me had I ever had sexual relations with Natalia. In my mind, I'm thinking, what the f*** are you talking about, dude? I'm like, whoa. You know, I'm gonna say it definitely took my breath away.
I think that was
really
really
bad. He
Michael.
said, even if you kissed her, I need to know, but you're not gonna get in trouble, I think is what he said. And I said, no, I've never been intimate with a little person, ever. In my entire life. I know that. So now I know that that this is not somebody I met and forgot about. And I had met Christine and Jacob when I was on the road. I don't know how the detective got my name, other than maybe he saw a message where.
Yeah, you see, I wanted to
set
fix
me
you up on the night out with Natalia.
But I didn't take the bait.
So right there. So, but he never did want to.
No, he didn't want to, but I think, I don't know, Christine is such a. I think she probably did it because I feel like if Natalia did go there, then she would pin her on something else to get her in trouble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like all the stuff to get her in trouble.
I mean, I think the biggest takeaway is if anybody's ever taken a picture or recording a video, you got to look at your background. The mess this man has behind him is insane. Like, I thought, what is that, his kitchen?
I think
I
so.
can't tell.
How the hell does he cook?
Yeah, look at that.
I mean, it looks like a kitchen counter.
Yeah, like a foldable table and.
Yeah, I don't.
I know, but look at the cabinet behind it. Like, there's stuff in it.
Or is this a garage?
Oh, it might be like some sort of garage.
Whatever. Just.
Oh, and then this part is crazy.
Is this where
He's like, oh, I don't want to.
Oh yeah, when he was done.
Oh, with the yeah, that's yeah.
I gotta be honest, my thoughts on it is I'm appreciative that they gave you the opportunity to speak on that. Because you and I didn't know that material existed. And I would hate for that to appear on, Inside Hollywood.
Oh, well,
That's
it's here on
the
here,
story
so-
you're trying around telling. And you would have missed this opportunity to weigh in.
We have had many pushes and pulls. This is the last thing I'll do. Everything else from now on that I say no is no. Whose computer is this? How many pieces do you want back in? I'm not kidding.
Please don't.
Please don't.
Please don't. But this part got me like repeating it like 3 times. I was like, wait, what?
Tell these random people in the public about me.
Christine told me in a series of messages, Natalia ruined her life in so many ways.
Christine basically said that
Natalia started.
See, and they cut it off.
Cut
there.
it off.
So you can't even tell. It's
So
our
what
song.
is it though? Natalia what?
They won't tell us.
This part at all.
This is a cliffhanger.
That's the thing. But what my
When
assumption
I
is,
testify in the trial of Christine Barnett, I'm gonna be doing the right thing, telling the truth.
There we go.
I guess
So
I'll
we
see
need to
you guys
watch
before.
that series. We need to watch that series.
but
then.
they dropped Natalia's case. You saw that at the end?
Yeah, Christine got away.
Christine got
Yeah,
away.
she
They
got
dropped
away
her
scot-free.
case.
But he said that he was going to testify against her on the next fucking trial.
Yeah, but look, towards the end, they were going to bring her to court, but it dropped.
There wasn't enough evidence, I think.
That's bullshit because
Yeah, it's okay.
Where's the tears? That he just like magically wiped away.
Fraud.
That's alright, you're not getting the crying version. If you want the crying version, I'll bust that one out.
That's what freaked me out
Yeah,
too. I was
yeah.
like, and he's laughing right
He's
now.
laughing because he knows he could.
Look, on March 23rd, 2023, prosecutors filed a motion to dismiss Christine Barnett's case, citing insufficient evidence to prove the charges against her. The court granted the motion. You didn't read that?
yo, he's crazy.
He's insane. He's a liar. So is she. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
and you know what? Maybe Natalia's a little crazy too. I mean, but it was a kid. I mean, it was probably a kid being a kid, right? Right? I don't know.
When you're being passed from home to home to home and then you're not wanted, the amount of abandonment
Yeah.
issues that you have, sometimes people turn into a serial killer or they just love everybody and they want to be a people pleaser. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It can go both ways. So I think this girl went through so much trauma that's what made her do certain things.
It's almost like what a lot of people said during this whole thing, though, like being interviewed. It was like, all right, you had this daughter that you adopted that you think is a grown-ass adult, but you're not sure, right? And she's showing up in your bedroom with knives, threatening to kill your other sons and all this stuff. Like, how do you just not call the police at all? It's like the only time the police ever came is when somebody else called on them.
On the
Well, what
CPS,
about
yeah.
the day at the farm? Didn't
The
Christina
farm, what
call?
happened was somebody,
Or somebody else called?
right, somebody saw the fighting
Oh, that's what it was.
and somebody called the police to that. And, but even that, it looked like that was a lie too.
Even
Yeah.
if like you get CPS called, that should be more than enough to get investigated more. Because there's like allegations where they're claiming that they said, oh, she wants to kill her family. Okay,
But
so
CPS
then,
filled so many other cases too, not, so that alone.
no, I'm just saying, like in general, like I feel CPS needs to be a little bit more on top of stuff, like because it could be that the kids are really just they have a mental problem where they want to kill everybody, or it's a whole self-defense thing where no, I'm going to kill my parents because they're beating the crap out of me. You know what I mean? But
Another thing,
sometimes
too.
they don't get too involved, and then when something does really happen, and it's like, oh, well, that's the parents' fault because they didn't do anything. Yeah, they did something, but the government just wasn't as involved as they should have been.
Just like every other case.
That's it, basically. Facts. But another thing, too, I just saw the last thing I even just wrote here was like the court cases and why they got off. In my opinion, because we actually kind of forgot to mention that part, too, they were able to change her birth certificate to an adult.
Oh, that's right.
In court legally. So when Natalia had to testify in court, she had to give the age on her birth certificate, which changed to the age of 22, which the Indiana State Trooper that was investigating at the end said basically it was strategic because at age 22, 21, I guess you still have to give some sort of care if you're
Yeah.
adopted, and at
Yeah.
age 22 it ends. So it was like strategically changed to age 22 because that leaves you with no full responsibility whatsoever.
But she was 16.
Right. She was probably at that time, she could have been 16.
Because remember that she had that interview with Dr. Phil, and Dr. Phil was like, how old are you? He goes, 16. She's like, are you sure you're not 22? I was like, no, I'm 16. I was born in 2003.
Right.
And then
she
also-
found out that the mom did the paternity test, and
Right.
it came out.
And that was all from that state trooper from Indiana. He's the one who did the deep,
Good for
investigation.
him.
He was the only one who actually found out the most information.
Yeah.
Like he put the
flew
work
out there
in.
and
Yeah,
everything.
he flew out there. He had I think he even had like a private investigator. I think go out there too.
And
At first.
yeah, everybody went out there because they wanted to. Because the mom at first didn't want him to get involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, when I heard the mom story, like it broke my heart because when they said, "Listen, your daughter, it's not worth it. Like you're gonna have a headache with her just because she's a daughter." In my opinion, if I ever had a special needs kid, I don't care. I'm never leaving that kid. It's still my kid regardless. So the fact that but then she said, I feel like I was forced to having to give her up because, the way which doctors, man, I thought doctors here were just cold-hearted in a sense, right? Because they're just just give the kid up. Like my friend was pregnant and she was about 6 months pregnant. They told her your kid might have Down syndrome. So you can adopt if you want. We can abort the baby now. She's like, wait, what? The kid came out healthy as hell. So how can you I don't know. I as a parent, I'm not a parent, but I can't just give up a kid that I created just because they have something.
And also in the case when they're in court from what's his name, Michael, they couldn't talk about the age at all.
Right.
They were not allowed to do any.
You can't say child and you can't say adult.
Right.
And you couldn't talk about the age, and you couldn't even there's other details that they couldn't talk about. But why?
I feel like that affected the case a
Oh,
lot.
absolutely. That's how he got off. That's why his lawyer was like, we have a strong case here. He knew he was gonna, in the end he was trying to be 98% of the time the prosecution wins, but he knew that case was strong. It was ironclad. You had 20. She's allowed to have an apartment at 22 years old by herself.
That's fine. But
And
not
he's
at 9.
No, not at 9. But obviously he would have went to jail if you could have put the truth out
That's
there.
why I feel like he shouldn't have gotten not guilty for all 4 counts. I feel like child neglect he should have gotten guilty for, especially leaving her in an apartment at 9 years old, or allowing his wife to do the stuff that she did. He could have had more balls and been like, no, what are you doing? She's
what is that called?
child.
Accomplice, right?
Yeah, an accomplice. Yeah, an accomplice.
And I wonder where they're at now. Are they
Living
just
life?
roaming free?
I'm pretty sure she's with that midget, and he's and he's got that new girlfriend. So I don't know. She's probably, they're probably rolling around in that junk that they was got in the back.
Yeah, but I'm just I know she's with the other 2 boys. Because remember the other 2 boys?
Yeah, they stay behind.
They don't want nothing to do with their dad.
So you have in your notes, you said Michael molests Natalia?
I just have a feeling we don't know what she said at the end on the last.
That's what you're talking about. Yeah, that's what
I felt like he said that he was told that he molested her. Or something like that. And I feel like that's why he lost it. I also feel like that's why his lawyer said, I'd rather do this now before it comes out of Inside Hollywood, and get it out there, and you didn't comment on it. He was like, now you got the chance. But that wasn't a very good reaction to comment on it.
No, definitely not.
The answer should have just been you watched the laptop, yeah, that's bullshit. That would have been...
Or been no comment.
No comment, yeah. Or something like that. So... At the end, she's sometime over the summer. She's going to give her own special.
Is she?
Yeah, she's
She's
going to give her
I
side.
would too, though. To be honest with you, I would too.
I don't know why they just wouldn't put it on the following week. I think you had everybody hooked. You know?
Right.
But yeah, it didn't even give a date. It just said at the end of the series, if you watch the end. Oh, it was a commercial. I watched it live, so it was a commercial that came out after, and it said, "Now you get to hear her side."
Oh wow, good.
So you need to come back for that one.
Yeah, we got that's almost
part 2.
There's a part 2. I hope it's 7 episodes too.
I know, right?
Just give me everything.
I was hooked on it, and then I watched the other one after, the Duggar one. That's a whole other.
Yeah, that's something.
Did you watch it?
No, I didn't watch that.
Oh, okay, you have to watch.
I gotta watch that one.
I knew it was bad.
It's only 4 episodes.
Yeah, it's only 4.
Oh, it's only 4 episodes.
Yeah.
All right, I'll try to sneak that in.
But
you have to. Oh my god.
I knew it was a cult type thing.
Yeah, aren't they ultra religious?
No, but dude,
But just
religious is not even a word for that.
Really?
And I saw a TikTok.
bad.
I sent you a TikTok video.
Yeah, I saw that.
The family of the Duggars, and one of them is still in that community. One of them is following those steps.
I bought one of the girl wrote a book about growing up and how she was set free, and I read the first 2 chapters, and already I'm hooked because she says anything I did or even had a thought, she's like, I was scared because I knew that I was going to go to hell right away. Like, she thought about rock music, oh, I'm going to go to hell. Because you couldn't, no jeans, no, you know how they dress. Like, it's like very, she goes, even if you like try to entertain anything that's not part of their, whatever, they call it religion. No. Like, they say they're Christian. Like, we're Christian. But we're not, it's not like that. And that pisses me off because it's like, now people are like, oh man, all Christians are like that. No, it's not like that.
No.
Because the stuff that they did, and dude, I was so mind blown. I was like, this is ridiculous and it's so disgusting.
And they talk about Josh Duggar too, that's another crazy part you have to watch.
Just watch it.
That's the kid who went to jail, right?
He's in jail for the next 12 years.
But just
and
watch
then,
what happened in the beginning.
And then he's on probation for 22 years after that. That he's not allowed to interact with any minor without supervision, which means his kids are still going to be minors by the time he gets out. I think some of them.
Right.
He's not allowed to talk to them, his own kids, without a supervision. Like, that's how bad it got. I knew it was bad, like, I read into it, but when they actually said everything he did and what, I was like, no, dude, no. Like, I was shaking my head. I was like, bro, these people got away with it for a while. Now it's out.
Kids, don't talk about it anymore. You don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
You have to
Stay
watch it.
careful.
But I don't know, with this case, what else did you write?
You know what I kind of found weird? Like, this whole case happened, right? It, like, this was going on, like, 2019, 2022, right? I had no clue this was going on. Like, I didn't hear nothing about it.
Some people
I'm a little
did,
shocked.
and some people didn't.
I remember seeing them on the news, like, I remember seeing the mugshots, like, oh, they got arrested, and I'm like, okay, cool, like, that's like another, because, like, you hear it every other day where some parents or daycare workers, people getting arrested for neglecting a child or whatever. So for me, it was just like another, but then I'm like, dang, like this.
Because, like, even the show, like, if it was, like, TikTok is what really blew this one up, I feel like, because people posting on TikTok, the orphan, all that stuff.
I think that's where I saw it too, the Dr. Phil interview.
Right,
Not
she
the whole
told
thing, but
she told me about that. I didn't watch Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
You know,
I think I kind of
Trish watches Dr. Phil all the time. She was like, I never saw that episode. Like,
really?
Yeah, because she works from home. Yeah, she was like, I didn't see that episode. She was like, I watch that all the time. I didn't see that.
I'm at the Google it because it probably was like maybe a special because it wasn't in a studio.
Right.
It was like in a room, and I think it's with the couple the one that is with her now. I think
was with her in the day.
I think so. I gotta look into it because I want to hear it and see what's going on there.
Because sometimes, like this, like sometimes, like you see court cases like that take over the country. I think the only reason why probably for me I didn't notice it as much as probably is because usually those other cases always has to do with somebody dying.
That's true.
Like the last big case was literally I was watching this. I told you about them, the Murdochs.
I want to see that.
Right, so that's an insane. The Murdochs.
It's on
because it was, you probably saw it on the news because it was like every day they were talking about this trial every day.
Murdoch?
So,
yes. The one that he shot his
son
and mom,
yes,
wife in the farm or something like
yeah,
that.
So,
okay, yeah.
So like I'm eating dinner and I'm literally watching a special, like they're talking about an Inside Edition, and as they're talking about it, they cut to the live feed.
Yeah.
When they find him guilty, and I didn't know. I thought I was still watching Inside Edition. And I was like, they really focused on this part. Like this thing is, I was like, what's going on? But then I realized they actually cut into the live feed when they found him guilty, and I'm like, oh. But like I said, like this didn't do that. Like you didn't see Robert Burnett.
Which I'm surprised because this is a huge case.
Yeah, this is a huge case. But like I said, maybe because somebody didn't die. That's the only thing I can think of.
They think they're not, but the whole evidence thing throws me off because remember they had that app or something that they shared, but everything they sent it would go straight to the government, and there were so many messages like that were exchanged between Michael and Christina about like, yeah, do this to her, yeah, don't worry, she deserves it, well, like really bad stuff.
Yeah.
And they got away with that. That's why I don't understand how he got away with not being guilty on all 4 counts. I think something is off
not
there.
enough evidence.
It was not, because once 22, because I think the case was abandonment, right? Abandoning a child.
Yeah, it was abandonment.
Because they went to Canada.
And then It was like 2 other things. I can't remember
what they were.
Oh, they went to Canada, but they brought her, but they put her somewhere far away, right? Like an hour away, or is that somewhere else?
No, I think they put her in Indiana. They left her. They just went because the kid had a scholarship.
Remember when he told one of the reporters it's like a white trash town or something like
Yeah.
that, and now the lawyer was like, "Why did you make that comment?"
Right, yeah.
Like now we're in trouble. Like you don't say stuff like that.
That was crazy.
But what else you have there, Mark?
Nah, that was pretty much, we went through everything. I know I forgot a lot. I put this together quick on Friday. I was like, just scribbling, but.
First Amendment.
First apartment.
Oh, apartment.
First apartment, yeah.
My goodness.
With that, yeah, those people, it was the first apartment, the second apartment.
And the fact that, like, she smelled, too. Like,
I
she didn't
felt
know
like,
how to clean
right, that's what I was saying, right? Like, it
Yeah.
was just a child. You don't know how to clean. Nobody taught you, like, you got to train the kid, brush your teeth, take a shower, like,
Yeah.
clean behind your ears,
Yeah.
like, I felt like she never had that guidance. Like,
No.
That's why she was also attached or, like, stalked.
to other people, to other people.
Yeah.
Which I get it, which is, I mean, it's definitely creepy, but things you want to be nice, right? Like, you don't want to be like, all right, get out of here. I don't want to tie you in my house. Like, go.
That's the thing.
No, but it's just like I really want to know what really goes on in her head. Honestly.
I think we're gonna find out. Like, you're gonna see that next episode. I'm really curious to hear her talk now. I was like, what's she, a teenager right now?
No,
you
I
said?
think she's in her 20s.
Or in her
now.
20s
Yeah.
right now? All right, so I'll be curious to hear her talk in that
I really
age.
hope she goes all out.
Well, she's
though.
20 because she was born in 2003, so now it's 2023, so she's 20 now.
I'm glad you can do math.
So this one.
Wouldn't it be nuts? Like, we watched, like, it's messed up. They mistreated her. And the first thing she said, she was like, damn, I wanted to carve his esophagus out.
Yeah.
It'll change all
It
of
turns
his, like,
completely different.
he's like, and I tried to cut him that morning, but he woke up and I had to hide my knife.
Yeah.
That's the thing, I wonder, I can't wait for it because I really want to know, like, was it really self-defense or was she really, like, or is it even true?
Yeah, or maybe, I mean, she was saying that Christine made her say a lot of things that weren't true.
But also, why would they just take a lie detector test?
That's
Michael
a good point, yeah.
And Natalie and the wife.
Lawyers probably was like, don't you dare.
Somebody's
like, stay away
lied
from
about
that machine,
something.
man.
So why would they just do that to just get the truth out? You know? Like, why does it have to keep, like, just listening to their stories and be like, oh, I don't know what's true, I don't know what, you know.
They took that lie
'Cause
detector.
Don't they do that in certain cases where, like, they make people take a lie detector?
You have to agree to it, though, because they said the technology could be a little flawed. But,
It's not 100%.
it's not 100%, so they don't like to
but
use
still,
it.
I feel like you would get more out of what they're saying. I feel like there's literally, we only got like the tip of the iceberg. I feel like there's so much crap that they're hiding that the truth, that's why I hope when she does her documentary, I hope she
does all out. It goes all out.
I want to know. But then again, who knows if it's going to be true or not. Like, this guy.
This guy now.
I couldn't believe him as much. I really couldn't. With her, maybe.
Yeah.
But until I don't see it, I don't know. It's just a trauma this little girl went through. Like, I feel bad. It's like, dang, man. Like, how much can a child really go through? And then with the whole thing of like, when I guess the neighbors was talking to her one time and she kept looking up at her mom, and Christina and Michael like looking up at them like, did I give the right answer?
Yeah.
Like they trained her to say
Certain things.
So I'm wondering if they trained her to say, yeah, I did want to kill my brothers, or I did want to kill them. You know what I mean? I wonder.
And it's a thing because the teacher also said they're small. They can't fight anybody.
Yeah.
So they're not strong enough. Their bones are not strong enough. So that's probably why she felt like she needed a knife to kind of like be self-defense in a way.
Yeah, because
that's the case.
She even talked about that too when the whole fence thing. She goes, I don't see her pulling Christina to the fence because we don't have that upper. I mean, we could have that upper strength, but not that much of a strength where we pull somebody who's like 3 times taller than us down.
And Christina looks like big and chunky. Like, how are you gonna have a little person knock a person like that?
Like, oh, she don't want to kiss. She pushed me to the fence.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
I think
even the cop said that was bullshit.
Yeah, well, even remember when they interviewed Natalia, she said like, no, my feet were hurting, and that's what happens with that. Like, if you don't have the right shoes and you make them walk, because their legs are not straight, of course they're gonna start bleeding.
Even with the right shoes,
like,
you get tired a lot easier.
You know,
than other
because
people.
so she's like, I didn't push her. She got up and she fell, and she blamed it on me. Like, that's the thing. Like, I feel like kids don't lie for certain things. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know where in life where we decide to lie. Where we think it's okay, you know what I mean? But kids just
Mackenzie's, you know, sometimes.
Well, Mackenzie's today, by the way. She looked at my nails. I'm like, Mackenzie, you like these nails? She goes, yeah. I'm like, yeah. So when I got her redone, she's like, oh, they're so pretty. I'm like, yeah, you know, like the other ones, like. But no, but kids, like, I feel like that. I think that story might be true. Like, especially with the other lady backing her up, saying like we don't have that strength to push somebody, an adult, down.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just want this documentary to come out.
It would be crazy, man, when you see her side and you find out I had the strength to take that knife and put it right in Michael's gut. If he only didn't catch me and wake up.
Bro, we should do a documentary night. You know, like the movie night?
Uh-huh.
When that movie
that
comes out, we should all watch it.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be dope. That's fire.
Yeah.
Like on Saturday night. Let's do it. We'll buy pizza.
You got to like pizza.
Oh, I already used it.
Oh.
Just one day I was just hungry and I didn't feel like cooking and went and got it and took pizza to work the next day, so.
It's like 5 days a week for me.
Oh man, but this case is, I feel like there's a lot of missing stuff. A lot. I feel like we didn't get what, I could just imagine what it really is like if we had all the information. Because if this is mind-blowing just this, imagine if the truth actually really, really came out. I wonder. Who knows? Cricket.
That was a deep thought. I'll keep it.
Yeah,
I thought it was deep,
Yeah. If we're already mind-blown by what's going on, imagine if we got the whole entire truth from all three sides.
If that's even the truth.
I don't know why. I'm actually kind of rooting that I don't know, maybe she was a little crazy.
No, I'm not saying, maybe she was.
I don't know why.
Maybe she was.
Huh?
Natalie?
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of want one knife story to be true.
I mean, that's it. It could be.
I don't know why.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, maybe she did have, like, a mental thing going on. Being abandoned all those times and, like, you know, being
that messes with you mentally,
and
man.
And then on top of feeling abandonment by 3-4 different families.
Yeah.
Starting with your own mom, right? And then you have this family who, like, basically treats you like shit.
Left you on the second floor. You had to roll down the steps just to get some Doritos. Like, that's rough, man. That's messed up.
That's evil.
That's just
I'm
evil,
sorry.
man. Like, and then you got to go back up the stairs. Like, damn it! I just bought a Coke and Doritos. How am I getting this upstairs? Like
just to survive. Like, it's hard for her to come up and downstairs, you know.
Something that we do so natural every day. For her, it's like a literally life struggle.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll find out, I guess,
on our next episode of.
We're definitely doing a part 2. Mark, you have to come for a part 2.
No, I'll definitely watch the whenever it comes out. I'll give you the date whenever I see it. If you see it or I see it.
And bring more notes too.
Yeah, this time I actually write as I'm watching.
Yeah.
Like, you
know what? I do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that was a good episode. Thank you, Mark.
It was fun coming the first time. Yeah.
Yay!
You know.
You survived. You all worried.
Our number one fan.
Give me a cookie for that. You know.
You want it?
Yeah, I want a cookie.
But thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
I'm glad
That was fun. It was a lot of fun. It's cool to see how this all works, man.
Well, it wasn't really cool because we just had a lot of technical difficulties.
But usually that's what happens.
That's
Every other few episodes. For some reason, I don't know why, but it does. But it was a good episode. It's deep. I really can't wait for the next one. So.
You didn't do the live though. I just noticed.
Oh yeah, no. I think we were so wrapped in. I noticed it like halfway when we were talking. I was like, oh, he changed his shirt to go live. And I totally forgot.
That shirt was like a sweaty. I would have been like.
So, but anyways, until next week, guys.
Our next episode of
DJ Talk. Have a good week. Enjoy your week. Don't do anything stupid. Don't drink and drive. People do that.
Cool. Don't look at me.
Bye.
Bye, guys.